What is up, you guys? How we doing? How we doing today? Hey, Curtis. Hi, Odin. Hi, Orion. Hi, Pixie. Oh my god, the whole gang is here. Harley. Thank you so much for the resubscribe, Harley. I need to move this alert box so you can actually read what's being said. How you guys doing today? Happy Thursday. Oh, thank you for 3 months, Orion. Thank you so much. Dude, if I am not mistaken, I haven't talked to him for a couple weeks, but if I'm not mistaken, Chris is moving, which is very sad news for me. Yeah, oh my god, OnlyFans news. So actually it was a total coincidence. I had planned to talk about this today either way. And then literally right as I'm about to post the stream, I saw that there was some major policy or directional changes for OnlyFans. Although I don't know if it's actually as major as people are making it out to be, because from what I can tell, they're only banning porn videos, like actual sexual behaviors, and not necessarily just being naked. Oh, you're making an OnlyFans podcast? What's up, G? Hi, Ennis. Hey, what's up? Hi, Jaded. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. I'm back in the garage today because it's cooler today. Oh my god, my hair is so long and gross. It's like everywhere and sticky. And, I don't like it. I really need a haircut. I haven't had a haircut since the beginning of the pandemic. I'm like going back to my 2008 length hair. It's so long. I don't like it. Body positivity, yay! It's too long. Steph! Thank you so much, Steph. Thank you so much for the Prime subscription, for the Bezos bucks. He'll have $3 less to go to space with. Thanks, guys. I'm not saying it looks awful, but it just feels like, if you're used to having short hair, when it starts to get longer, it just feels kind of heavy and like out of control. Out of control. Not a fan. So yeah, OnlyFans. OnlyFans. Yeah, it's really funny because I had a couple of situations that came up with friends this week. Stories that they told me that sounded eerily similar to each other. And it made me kind of wonder, like, how OnlyFans is being used and perceived in mainstream culture. Like, for me, OnlyFans is just, it's almost like the sexy version of Patreon for YouTubers. Like, I mentioned in one video, I took that 3-year hiatus from YouTube, basically, where I barely made any videos, and then I came back and, like, no shit, like 50 or 60% of the sex ed people I follow ended up making OnlyFans accounts. I was like, oh, I guess the internet's changed a lot since I've been online. The Tumblr pill. Oh my god, that's so funny. Oh, whoa, Hype Train! Thanks so much for whatever that is, guys. It sounds fun. Yeah, Odin, it gets oily. But that's mostly a summer thing, the oily hair. It's not good. Yeah, so I think, exactly, Pixie, I think what happened is Patreon, and this is something that might be happening to OnlyFans too, where these big they're essentially tech companies, right? And they have to raise a lot of capital in order to get these platforms off the ground to make them profitable. Although with OnlyFans, it seems like they should be profitable. I don't know why they're raising more money. They are, though. They're raising money, and these venture capitalists don't want to get into the porn biz. I just think it's kind of funny that, like, the line they're drawing for this funding stuff is so arbitrary. Like, okay, you can post nude pictures on OnlyFans still, but you can't post any sexual acts. Like, I just wonder what that conversation's like. I want to be a fly on the wall in those pitch meetings where they're like, you should give us $8 bajillion. We're a platform where people can show their boobs but not do anything with their body. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right, Pixie. The payment processors too. Monstruck! Wow, thank you so much. It's good to see you again. It has been a little while. Thank you so much for 3 months in a row. 3-month crew. Really appreciate it, guys. You're probably afraid of the Pornhub fiasco. Yeah, that's a good point, G. Yeah, so that was another thing I actually wanted to bring up too. It's just that here's the problem with all of these websites. Like, as soon as they allow some level of, oh, hey, wow, we really do have a hype train going. Thank you so much, Joe, for the Prime subscription. Thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. Yeah, these companies, you know, as soon as they start allowing adult content, there's a bunch of moderation questions. And I think the question of moderation is something that all social media platforms are dealing with right now. There's a very robust and important conversation about free speech and what kind of sexual expression should be allowed on these platforms. And the real problem, the real stopgap is obviously people who are using it for nefarious purposes, right? Nefarious means, oh wow, 94% hype train. What do we get at the end of the hype train? What happens when the hype train leaves the station? I don't know. What's good about OnlyFans is that it's actually empowering individuals rather than the companies. Yeah, I mean, in a sense, obviously there's still, if I'm not mistaken, the creators on the platform are still giving a cut to the company, right? So there's, as long as social media is centralized, as long as sexual content, videos, any sort of content that people might post online, as long as it's coming from a centralized company, there's always going to be some level of control that company has over it. Which is why podcasts are awesome. Oh, hey, thank you so much, Kamome. Hope I'm saying that right. Thank you so much, you guys. We won the train. We won the hype train. Thank you, guys. What a sweet way to start the stream. Thank you so much. Yeah, businesses are in the business of making money. Exactly. Oh, they take a 20% cut. Yeah, that's less than YouTube. YouTube takes like a 50% cut. Yeah, YouTube, it's like... Don't even get me started. Don't get me started on YouTube. We're here to talk shit about OnlyFans. Yeah, so the problem with the nefarious purposes with the sexual content is that it becomes a legal issue when the platform is being abused to post abuse imagery, to post revenge porn, things like that. Then the company opens itself up to an enormous amount of legal liability. It's just bad news across the board. So the question becomes, how do they moderate it? Pornhub is instituting a program right now where they have a third party trying to verify identities and consent of everybody who's posting on the platform, which I think is way, way, way overdue. That should have happened a long time ago. But interestingly, I was actually reading about this issue, and I guess the majority of sexual abuse imagery happens on Twitter. Shockingly, Twitter is like one of the main places where it gets posted. Possibly even more than the porn websites themselves, hard to say. I don't know how, does Twitter allow, I guess Twitter does allow nudity, huh? I was following people, and then I started, you're in a coffee shop. I was following some sex workers, and then you're in a coffee shop and you're scrolling, and suddenly someone's everything right there on a 16-inch screen. So, not safe for coffee shop. Had to unfollow a lot of those people, but I think they still allow it. Yeah, okay, so they do still allow porn. Yeah, so I guess that's probably why Twitter has this problem, right? Because they're allowing sexual content to be posted. I'm sure it's only a matter of time before Twitter is going to have to reckon with the sexual abuse imagery that gets posted on there. You use Twitter pretty much for porn? That's funny. I feel like Twitter kind of became the replacement for Tumblr, right? It's really too bad about Tumblr. It's really too bad about Tumblr because I feel like Tumblr was kind of a subversive porn platform in a sense. Like, I have my reservations about how we consume porn, what kind of porn is out there. But as far as healthy sexual expression goes, I feel like Tumblr had more types of sexy things. There was a lot more stuff that catered to women, that catered to queer groups of people. It just was a little bit more, I don't know, inclusive in a sense. More so than I feel like Pornhub. I go to Pornhub and it's like 80 incest videos on the front page. It's like, okay, I don't know what happened to the internet in the last 5 years. Oh, we are living in interesting times. I am a crazy feminist. That's me. The craziest feminist you'll ever meet, you guys. Aw, thanks, Lil J. Twitter is infested with CPS and MAP. Yeah, Twitter is a mess, man. Twitter's got so many problems. I feel like Twitter's got all the weird, like, sex issues. Facebook has all the weird, like, misinformation conspiracy issues. Hey, thank you so much for gifting a sub, Construct. That's very sweet of you. I'm a crazy feminist. I'll claim it. If people are gonna call me a crazy feminist, I might as well own it, right? Map is... I'm gonna get myself flagged to fuck for talking about this stuff. Map is a minor attracted person. It's a rebranding of pedophilia. It's an attempted rebrand to try to make it a sexual orientation, in the sexual orientation category. And you see this happening a lot with people trying to sort of define into LGBTQ stuff. Not just with, paraphilias. It's with things like, some of the polyamorous community thinks that they should be included under the queer banner. Kink community stuff. There's an ongoing debate about whether or not those belong under the LGBT stuff. I would agree that it's all sort of outside of the norm, sort of heteronormative norm that we have about sexuality, but polyamory and kink are not sexual orientations in my definition of it. So I feel like we need to just sort of not necessarily feel some pressure to put everything under one banner, and it's okay to have lots of different communities, and we can respect them all, and they don't all need to be the same thing. Do you know what I mean? I have no idea how common map is. I have no idea. I don't know a whole lot about it. I just know that it exists on Twitter. What's up, Hino? What's up? Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Hi, Audacity. Yes, sorry. Just walking into a high velocity conversation right away. Get so lost with all the stuff they try to add to the LGBT title. Yeah, I think part of why that happens is because there's been such a successful movement in the United States for a lot of that cluster of rights and issues, especially with the same-sex marriage ruling was a huge deal. And you have a lot of other marginalized sexualities or identity groups, gender identity groups that are still, kind of fighting for that recognition. And I think there's some temptation to just sort of lump it all together. That way it all, has the same social status or the same social recognition. But they are different, they are different issues, and they have different sets of considerations and research, science, social aspects. Crazy like a fox. I don't know how to say that, but thank you so much for the super chat. I'll take it. Crazy like a fox. Twitter was also really great at letting people connect over mutual interests. Oh, I just realized that I'm only on the Twitch stream. Sorry, guys. What's up, YouTube? What's up? Let me load this up. Oh, no, it's like reloading the whole chat. Sorry. Yeah, so, I feel like that's a whole other issue, but whether or not we're putting things like polyamory or kink or other, alternative relationship styles under that banner, issues that in sexualities or, issues that involve non-consent do not belong there. Period. Yes, I am streaming on YouTube also. Sorry, guys. I thought I had the multi-stream open. I'm like a grandma over here. Dead like Tumblr. Yeah, thank you so much for the super chat, Haseo. Do you guys think that this is sort of the beginning of the end for OnlyFans? I think there is a crucial difference here because Tumblr banned all porn, whereas OnlyFans is only banning sexual activity. They're saying they're banning porn, but, I would say that nudes and lewds are a type of... It could be pornographic. I mean, they're meant to elicit sexual arousal, right? Yeah, you are, Emery. I was just not... So on my screen, I have like a Twitch stream, and then I have both streams at once, so I can read everything that's being said, and I realized I was only looking at Twitch's, which is very prejudiced against Twitch. OnlyFans will still be around, but the content people go to OnlyFans for will go to a new platform. Yeah, so what platform would that be? I'm trying to think of platforms that allow, I'm not super in the know about sex work platforms, but I can't think of any platforms that allow that sort of direct engagement with the creator setting the terms. Yay, you can chat now, Try. Sorry. You were there all along, I just wasn't seeing it. I don't think TikTok allows porny content, do they? I haven't seen porny content on TikTok, although, you know, there's much more on TikTok than I've seen, I'm sure. Business opportunity, that's true. If you're an entrepreneur, now is the time. Get in there, guys. TikTok bans nudity. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I mean, it's run by the Chinese government. I'd be really surprised if they allowed it. If they allowed nudity. They've cracked down. Okay. Hi, Lisa. It's nice to see you. I was just wondering when you tweeted me the other day if you do like a drawing stream, because I feel like that'd be awesome. You think about the puritanical views we still have in the US today? Oh, don't get me started, Moran. I started a whole YouTube channel about it. Yeah, I mean, I consider myself a sex-positive feminist, but I also feel like I have to buffer that and say that I have reservations about some aspects of sex positivity too, you know. For me, the main goal is for people to feel comfortable and validated in their sexuality, and just to feel like, you know, all the quirks and weirdness that comes with our identities, with our bodies, with our sex lives isn't so stigmatized, isn't so weird. We can talk about it, and, you know, so people feel less alone and they can be healthier and happier. Anything that gets us toward that goal, whether it's sex positivity or something else, is something that I'm open to. I'll show ceiling fans, oscillating fans, box fans, and even bladeless fans. Only fans, but all the fans. I feel like there's a great missed opportunity for a cooking show to be called OnlyPans. Yeah. So, anyways, the thing that made me think of the OnlyFans topic before even all of this exploded into the news today was I was talking to a friend who is kind of like in this little bit of a chase with a woman he's interested in. She's like kind of maybe seeing another guy, but he wants to date her, all this stuff. And, you know, he's talking to me about navigating that. And, you know, then sort of suggests that if this doesn't work out, then at least I'll be able to go on and watch her OnlyFans. And I was like, wait, back up. Like, this person, is it common for people just like in your peer group to have an OnlyFans? Because everyone I know on OnlyFans is not, they're not real people. They only exist on the internet. No, they're real people. I'm kidding. But it made me think, like, that creates room for sort of a weird dynamic, right? Younger crowd issues. 99% of the shit I think about today is like younger crowd issues. I'm just like, what? How is our world changing? How is the way we think about and approach sex changing with the internet? Is it good? Is it bad? Okay, that's weird. Uncommon. Okay, because then it happened again this week. 2 times this came up. 2 times. That's right, I only exist on the internet, TJ. I am not a real person. I'm an AI projection. Thank you so much for the super chat, Adam. Parasexual sexual relationships might be damaging in unexpected ways, paid or not. Also, OnlyFans. Watch out for pansexuals. Thank you so much for the resubscription, Iron. You guys are so sweet. Thank you, thank you. VTuber confirmed. Yes, I'm one of the first VTubers. I've just discovered the existence of VTubers, you guys. I feel like I'm 90 years old. Like, wow, look at what the kids are doing these days. Oh, there is an OnlyFans account about cooking? Okay, good. Good. That makes me happy, Parrot. Because otherwise, major missed opportunity. So who's gonna sweep in and create a platform for sexual, you know, creator-directed sexual content? Let's call it. Let's place some bets. Only ones? Only nans? Oh, many vids! Many vids. I forgot about that.
Gang.
Gang.
No tone. Jing.
Gang
High
jing.
tone. First
Gang
super chat
jing.
here with
Am
my
I saying that
blunt.
right?
So far shaping up to be
First
an
super chat
interesting
here
show.
with my blunt. So far shaping up to be an interesting show. Thank you so much for the generous super chat. That's really sweet of you. Gang jing. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I want to see an only dance. Nothing but Dan Aykroyd. Guys, we got a good little hive mind going here. Let's put together a proposal. Let's swoop in on that OnlyFans money in Silicon Valley. Suicide Girls was really exploitative last I heard. It's been a while since I read up on them though. Yeah, isn't Suicide Girls... I don't think it's like a social media platform, right? At least not last I looked at it. It's been many years. I haven't heard about the Suicide Girls for like maybe 10 years. OnlyFans isn't going away. The media articles were inflammatory. Verified creators' content will be unchanged. Oh, okay. I didn't know that they had a verification change. How does that work for their fundraising, though? I can just imagine these guys going into this meeting, trying to get all the monies, and being like, look, we have verified, it's just the top tier, only the top tier for porn. Everyone else is just naked. Now give us all the money. Only Sans, sans serif fonts. Only bans, you join it, you get banned immediately. Oh yes. Guys, I'm getting some really good ideas flowing here. Aw, thanks, Kristoff. Thank you so much. They have to. Payment processors are forcing it. Yeah. Yeah. The credit card companies have actually shaped up to have an enormous amount of pull in how sexual content moves online. A little bit of a wild card there. I didn't foresee that. Only the tasteful approved porn. Only Silicon Valley approved porn. Am I drinking moonshine? No. I'm actually drinking coconut water today. I'm being a good girl today and hydrating. Playboy could move in if they were smart. They have legitimacy with sex and pop culture. That's true, but I feel like not OnlyFans, Playboy just kind of... Did they translate to the 21st century? I mean... The magazine's obviously enormously popular, but I feel like you just don't hear about Playboy anymore. Hydration! Thank you so much for the resubscription, Trouble. Thank you! Thank you so much. Hydro homies. Drink up. Oh god, that sounds like hell, Kablazin. Only spam. That's my personal nightmare. Oh yes, Construct, thanks for reminding me. We'll be doing advice and confessions in a little bit after we get all this OnlyFans business out of our system. So you guys can go ahead and there's a link if you're on YouTube. There's a link in the description to send it. Oh, thank you so much, bot. It's like the bot heard me. There's a link and you can do the command if you're on Twitch. Only jams, okay. I could get down with Only Jams. Playboy stopped doing full nudes in the mag before he passed, Hefner said. Why do it if it's all over the internet? Oh, man. A little short-sighted there. Forget the website and go to where the real money is made. Yeah, that's a good point, Weird. Like, maybe Playboy has a little bit of a bad connotation now. Or, like, you know, I've met the folks at Playboy when they were trying to figure out, they were like, do we become an internet magazine? Like, they were just kind of experimenting. They actually tried to get me to work for them. And I was not into that. But, you know, I think that my association with them at some point became a little bit sort of slimy, sleazy, a bit. Not hot for me. But I'm a little, you know, was born after their prime. Maxim. Oh gosh, I forgot Maxim. Wow. We really are taking a stroll down memory lane. Multiple companies serving specific niches, spin off hardcore and VC.
Spin off the hardcore and VC, the new idea.
Thank you so much, Gang Jin, for the very generous super chat. That is really nice of you. Thank you so much. Playboy should have capitalized and made their own version of OnlyFans, but they won't because the company is too short-sighted. Yeah, it's just like a totally different ballgame. OnlyFans is almost like, I mean, it's a giant social media website. It's totally different than running a content platform is totally different than making a magazine. You've always found it kind of lame. Well, Playboy has always been known for, you know, being more about, I don't know, it's like a specific type of femininity that they feature. It is very tame by today's standards. But it's kind of iconic in its own sense, right? They fell into the sex biz by accident. Oh, really? Oh, OnlyFans did. Yeah, so that's what, you know, this change was rumored that OnlyFans was going to go back to maybe a more safe for work version because they launched that app. All signs point to OnlyFans is trying to get that dollar, and they can't if all that people think of when they think of OnlyFans is porn. Only flans for all your dessert custard needs. Oh man, now I want flan. My favorite. It was known for the articles. Lol. I remember when I found out that Playboy had articles. I was like, wait, really? People read Playboy? The old days. One thing OnlyFans has going for it is that if someone doesn't know what it is, you'd not guess it's for adult content. Yeah, that's true. I think that makes the barrier for entry for creators much lower. Yeah, that's true, H2G2, at least right now, but I feel like that could change because it's become, like, during the pandemic, OnlyFans just exploded. Like, it absolutely exploded. And part of it is just, you know, this economic destabilization that's happened, the rise of gig economies, the rise of hustle culture, you know, everybody needing to just kind of hustle to fill in the gaps, right? Or to stay afloat. So, when we're thinking about, that's the main thing I think about when it comes to OnlyFans' sort of place and role in our culture and in society.
I have mixed feelings about OVs. I'm conflicted about a girl that had one. However, I do like a woman that is financially savvy. Watch out for the IRS though.
Thank you so much for the super chat, Alessandro. You're conflicted about a girl that had one. Is this like a person that you knew? Person that you knew? Yeah, I lost my train of thought. I got distracted. I had a train. The train was moving somewhere. Where was it going? Oh yes, economics. Yes, it does all come back to economics, and nice to see you, social psych. Yeah, I was just thinking about the economic role, and so much of the discussion about sex work in general is about economics, right? People who are against, feminists, I should say, who are against sex work often point to the fact that, well, no one would do this if there was no capitalism, which is true. It's just complicated. I think it's hard to... So much of the debate about sex work is in broad strokes. It's like, all sex work is bad, all sex work is good. And it's like, well, some people it's great, other people not great. I don't know why that's not the approach to these complex issues, sex issues more often. Like, some people actually genuinely like it and that's their life. Some don't. And that's the only option they have.
Love
Thank
your
you so
stuff,
much for the
Lacey,
super chat,
from a loving
Flashaga.
neckbeard.
Love your stuff. From a loving neckbeard. Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. King Jin, seriously, OnlyFans equals artistic softcore at most. OnlyFabs is the porn. I don't subscribe to OnlyFans, so is it really just softcore stuff? Fairly tame? Because my assumption from that press release was that they were worried that things were not tame, were maybe becoming too crazy, not tame enough. If OnlyFans removes its sexual content, there's going to be another app out there that's going to take its place. That's true, Andrew. That's true. And thank you so much for the super chat. I think the issue is that these companies they need to find a way to survive without venture capital. From what I read, it sounded like OnlyFans was not surviving. That's why they needed to raise funds. And they also need to, as several people have pointed out, they need to get the credit card companies on board. Because if the credit card companies say, sorry, we're not going to allow people to, we're not going to support this website, we're not going to be compatible with the website, it's not good news. Like, you knock out millions and millions of people, right? Immediately. I don't subscribe, I'm a producer. No, not me. I did, there was a period when I was like kind of getting into more artistic filmy stuff. I was like, there should be more feminist porn or like feminist sexual expression. I don't know, porn. Who am I kidding? Stuff that, features more real stuff and stuff that is hot for the ladies too. I feel like so much of it caters to straight guys. And to be fair, straight guys are probably the biggest market, but hello. Other people out here, you just want more femdom. Oh goodness, you guys. What's up, Dirk? We are just discussing OnlyFans' new policy change that they're not going to allow porn on the platform come October. So I'm curious, do you guys feel like, it seemed like you guys thought my friend's stories about finding the OnlyFans of the girls they're interested in online was a little bit of an outlier, which I'll buy. Do you feel like it's changed our dating culture in any way, or the way that we think about sex? Even the way we think about social media? I was just curious, what your guys' approach was, because I obviously have only one perspective, only my experience with it. Think it has. Tell me about it. Tell me more, Odin. Tell me more. Fill my brain with interesting ideas. Probably, Harley. Yeah, it doesn't start till October, so get it in now. The problem is young people who have specific boundaries are exposed to traumatizing content through private media requests. Can you elaborate on that, Luce? What do you mean? What is true love with someone? Bubble is asking the big questions. It makes men specifically feel more entitled to the female body. Yeah, that might be true, G. That might be true. I've had a lot of people ask me if I'm going to start an OnlyFans. I mean, if you guys are regulars on the stream, you know this. It comes up all the time. And it doesn't really bother me, but it is interesting. It's like, no one ever asked me to take my clothes off before OnlyFans. And I've been doing sex ed stuff, you know, talking about all the sexy things for a long time. Sometimes that brings out a bit of a weird crowd. I get weird emails, you know, things like that. But nobody ever really asked so overtly until OnlyFans became a big thing. And now I'm like, okay. Once again, let me iterate the difference between talking about sex and sexuality openly and doing sex work. Those are two different things. OnlyFans has helped normalize sex work, which is good. Except I worry about girls making accounts when they turn 18. That's just sad. Why? Okay, I agree that it's probably not great. Just largely because of the stigma that they might face, and I don't know, what are the repercussions for this? I do feel like one of the other silver linings is that, you know, lots of people sext each other, they send lewd things to each other, and historically women have had so much more to lose from this, right? It is much more scandalous if a woman's nudes get sent out either by revenge porn or a leak or whatever. It can be really devastating for her professional reputation and, of course, emotional health. Now, I think that with OnlyFans, possibly one of the things that is happening is it's going to become less taboo for scandalous photos to leak. I kind of thought this would happen anyway with the internet over time as more people engage in this form of sexual expression. But that doesn't just because it's maybe less professionally stigmatizing over time, let's say 5-10 years from now, doesn't necessarily mean it's less emotionally troubling. You know, people should have a choice about who sees their photos, where they go. The internet makes it very hard to control that. You know, I worry about stuff like that. We just don't have the infrastructure. Congress and our politicians are like 9 million years old. They have no idea what's going on right now. They have no concept of what revenge porn even is. Like, it took 10 years for it to even be acknowledged in a political setting. Like, ugh, makes me so mad when I think about how old Congress is. Fucking old. They don't understand this world we live in, you know? This digital world. Hey, Fury, good to see you. What's up? I feel like it's been a minute. Sex work as an industry is already sleazy. I saw a strip club billboard that said, now hiring the class of 2018, and this was an old billboard.
Going back?
Oh, I do not like that. Oh, thanks, Flashaga. Thank you for the super chat. Loved you on Drunken Peasants. Going back. Probably sometime soon. They invite me every once in a while. I miss those boys. If I could figure out how to get my stream together, I'd invite them here. Sooner or later, I will figure out how to have guests on the stream that I stream in and aren't physically sitting next to me. It's mainly due to there being more resources to re-upload, redistribute material online, and that is because VPNs exist, while outside of China that uses facial recognition. But regulations always get people scared no matter how it's handled and said. That's true, Frieza. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for the bits. Bravo. Thank you, thank you. Hello, janitor. Good to see you again. Congress couldn't get hired in the real world because of mental decline and they leave the free world. Yeah, I saw a meme about that, Orion, and I was like, damn, if that ain't the truth. If that ain't the truth. Look, I don't think we should treat old people as disposable, put them in the fucking garbage bin. They're not useful. They don't have anything to teach us. You know, I'm not in that level. I saw some comments that were more along those lines. And I actually have a real problem with how America handles old people, you know, aging, the elderly. But if you are not aware of all of these issues that are coming out of the information age, if you don't even use social media, you don't even know how to log on to the internet, you don't know what a browser is, should you be making policy about it? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say nah. OnlyFans is removing porn and nudity. How will girls of today survive? Okay, are there men on OnlyFans? I feel like some of the sex workers I follow that don't tweet naked pictures, there's men on there too. But like all porn, there's just a higher demand for women. Okay, yeah, okay. So there's like 2 men on there. I follow both of them. We did a parliament, House of Lords, House of Commons. Oh goodness, that sounds very fancy. Mostly gay guys, yeah. It's true. Honestly, I love men as much as the next bi chick, and I don't really care to look at men's naked bodies in porn. I don't know if that's just me or, I think there is actually some research behind this, that there's different types of arousal. Women are very visual as well, but the types of things that we offer women in porn are usually meant to appeal to the male gaze. Crazy feminists coming out, guys. Watch out. OnlyFans is male desire personified and commodified. Yeah, it makes me really uncomfortable, the idea that, I'm pro-sex work and pro-sex worker rights, and, I think that's important. Do I think that we should treat that as, a first stop as soon as you turn 18? Do I think that that's necessarily good for society, good for the girls? Or women at that point? Probably not. And I feel the same way about anything that teaches people to see their value and their worth from their body and from their sexuality. We are more than that. There's obviously probably a healthy way to approach it, but I have a lot of reservations. That's because I'm a stodgy old lady. As you guys know, I'm very puritanical. I'm a puritanical Mormon woman. So, just gonna put my biases up front. Thank you so much, Tay Ray. What? That just hurt my brain. I just don't want to think about Onision having an OnlyFans. I don't want to think about Onision. Period. I thought I had erased that man from my mind. Onision and I used to be friends like back in 2008, before he just went into total creepy, weird madness. I think there's a collab on my old channel with him. Oh, so much of my early internet days were such cringe, you guys. I regret. Do you think there is resentment toward people who do OnlyFans and have any kind of success because of I took my clothes off, I could have things to affect? Oh, yeah, Damien, that's a good point. I think there's probably some of that going on. What do you guys think? I feel like there's a little bit of resentment from men sometimes, because the types of needs that are the sexual needs that men have are easier probably for women on average to get met. Like, it's probably easier to find a guy, if you sleep with men, a guy to sleep with you. Because men on average tend to be less discerning than women. That's just an evolutionary thing. And that's obviously an average. That's an average. That's not an individual truth necessarily. So men kind of get resentful sometimes. So Utah, we're in Utah-ish. Thank you for the super chat, Gang Jin. I am not in Utah anymore, but I was born in Utah. I was born in Salt Lake City like a good Mormon girl. You know what's funny is that even though I'm not Mormon anymore, I absolutely love Mormons. I really do. I absolutely love Mormons. They're just like, So nice. Just don't ask them about their beliefs too much. But Mormon culture is just so sweet. Like, there's always cookies. That's all I need. Just always fresh baked cookies. Imprinting. Probably, Kiev. Probably. There's a nostalgia element for sure. I feel nostalgic for, like, the warm bubble that I had there before. I honestly wish I believed it. If I could convince myself to believe it, I'd be out here telling y'all to wait till marriage. Maybe rethink that gay thing you got going on. Oh God, can you imagine? You're a casual Mormon in Utah. Well, welcome, my Mormon brethren. Thank you so much for the super chat, Andrew. I have a theory of why this might be happening. I think there's creeps and pedos and people are just getting very scared. Are you talking about on OnlyFans? I'm worried I'm gonna get demonetized if I say the P word. Men grow in a very competitive, hostile environment, so they're very prone to hate on anything. That's true, but don't you think there's like some kind of a gendered element to that, Odin? There's a resentment that anytime it's harder for men to find sexual partners. Not every guy is an entitled douchebag, obviously. I would say 90% of men aren't, but they're out there, right? Thank you so much, that one voice, for the Prime subscription. Thank you. Appreciate it. Those Bezos bucks. Why fight for sex and gays when Mormons have cookies? Honestly, I'm at the point in my life where cookies are the most important thing. So, sorry, social justice. Gotta put it on hold. Difficult to say because most gendered elements are part of gender norms, not biological imperatives, so I can't know the answer. That's true. That's true. I think there is some pretty good research, though, behind the reproductive evolutionary differences, right? Differences in mating strategy. And again, every time I say that, I feel like I need to emphasize that it is on average and not necessarily an individual priority, right? Oh God, Reptile. No, don't bring that horrible Afghanistan bad news vibe into my life. It's so fucked up, guys. Ugh, I can't. I was at the mechanic today watching Fox News for 5 minutes and I was like, I am gonna die. I can't watch this any longer. Thank you so much for the super chat, Gangjin.
Well, same.
Same, atheist, but I had a long, very interesting convo with the missionaries. They have the best heaven too. Lived there 14 years. Oh, wow! They do have the best heaven, at least if you're a guy. Mormonism is honestly a pretty sweet deal if you're a dude. Pretty sweet deal. And yes, the missionaries, and even as long as they're open-minded, you know, there are people in my life I love that are Mormon, not just my family. And they know I'm a raging heathen. You know, we can still vibe. We can't get in too deep because otherwise we'll end up wanting to kill each other, but we can vibe.
Do more of these, you
Do
nerd.
more of these, you nerd. Thank you, Flashaga, for the super chat. I'm here every Thursday, guys. Every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Probably be changing time in September so that those weird Europeans can join us. They keep complaining to me, so might have to change the time. I know if I could have made money getting naked on the internet, I would have. Yeah, I mean, some people, it's thrilling. You know, I know some sex workers really like their job. Others, not so much. You just have to get YouTube famous or something, and then you can start an OnlyFans. And then once you do OnlyFans, then you start the OnlyFans, your true passion project. Very heathen, such heathen. Have you noticed that the men who have problems attacking potential partners are generally acting in manners that push away most people, not only mates, and would be more successful just by adjusting their attitude? I have noticed that. I feel like the way that we frame ourselves and the way that we think about what we're owed, what we deserve, can have a huge impact on our vibe around other people. No one wants an entitled crybaby to be around them. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat, David. Thank you for this is a thank you for all your awesome work over the years. Thank you, David. That's so sweet of you. Thanks for the support. You guys are sweet. Does any man here want their daughter or little sister to be a sex worker? I mean, it's a brave new world out there. For me, if I had a daughter, if I felt like that's what she truly wanted, I might struggle with that a little bit, but I would ultimately say, you know, it's her life and her body. The reason why I would struggle with it is because I would want any child of mine to feel like they are worth more than their body. And I would be concerned that that sort of thing could reinforce the belief that their body is their most valuable asset, the most important thing about them. And it's the same reason why I wouldn't want my kid to be a model. You know, this super toxic environment of people criticizing your body all the time, and I don't know. I have mixed feelings, complicated feelings about it. Same reason I wouldn't want them to, you know, feel like they needed to get a boob job or any of those things. You're more than your body, you know? That doesn't mean sex work is saying, oh, this is all I have, this is all I have. No, but, you know, I would just want to make sure they were in an emotionally healthy place. Thank you, Yangjin. Thank you. That's so sweet of you. Oh, no, that's a different name. That's a different name. Sorry. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Maybe you could tell me. But thank you for the super chat. The incestually possessive mindset is super weird. Yeah. Yeah, the dads that are like, come near my daughter, I'm gonna fuck you up. I am really glad my dad was never like that. Like, if you met my dad, you might think he has the potential for that. But my dad was never, like, weirdly possessive when guys were around. And my parents were very, like, they accepted when I was a teenager that I'd be dating and experimenting to some degree. They accepted. But, you know, sometimes I see those memes of people with those really bizarre t-shirts that they're like, you know, talking about their ownership of their daughter. And it's like, wow, you need to not do that. Please stop. How would you feel if your daughter wanted to transcend her body and become a being of pure thought and energy? I'd say, how many drugs did we do today? What are we smoking today? I only had boys, so their mom got into that possessive mode. Me, I'm like, let them live. Yeah, I guess it can happen with moms too, huh? Like, moms can become weirdly protective of their sons. I dated a guy whose mom was kind of like that. Most of the moms that I've met are really cool, and, you know, they tried to kind of be a mentor, you know, have some womanly camaraderie with me, which is very sweet. But one guy I dated, one of the first serious relationships I had, she was very protective of him. It took me a while to kind of, like, warm up to her. It's almost like, it almost felt like trying to make friends with an ex or something. As weird as that sounds. It was like, I'm not a threat, like, I'm not gonna, you know, I don't want to hurt you. Please, like, come in peace. It's a strange phenomenon. A lot of the sex workers I follow, being, like, really good artists, maybe become fine with the idea. It's another way to support their passion at their own accord until it too can provide for them. Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a million legitimate reasons for it. I just think when it comes to parenthood and you're thinking about your kids, there's probably a lot more protectionism there. I'm much more, I have no investment in what people do with their body. in general. Like, you do what you want. I really don't give a fuck. As long as everyone's safe, healthy, happy, respected, feeling good, vibing, I'm okay with that. Getting on with girlfriends' parents is the one thing I'm really good at when dating. Hey, that's a good skill to have. It's always helpful when the person you're dating has a little bit of game, right? Can warm up to the parents a little bit. Sense of humor really helps. Interesting, purity culture has put its foothold on everything when you think about it. Totally, Andrew, totally. I honestly think it's like the sort of control of our tendency to want to control things and to have them be the way we think they should and to keep them pure in some senses. Some sort of instinctual drive, in a sense. Like, we maybe evolved to be averse to things that feel threatening or staining or literally dirty, like literal diseases and germs. Excellent case for ending the 19th. No, I just, I'm trying to be open-minded. I'm trying to be open-minded and understand where people come from and respect people's agency about their bodies. I can have my feelings about it, but even if I had a daughter, she wouldn't belong to me. She'd be her own person. So it's not like I can decide. None of us gets to choose, exactly what our kids become, who they become, what they want to be, what they want to do. Secret Bitcoin millionaire, I wish. Dude, there's a house in LA that just sold for like $83 million or something. This just random, no-name Bitcoin billionaire. Bitcoin that's some shit right there. As an unattractive man, it's creepy for me to want sex. Never paid for OnlyFans, but might pay for play overseas post-COVID as an economic rebellion. I disagree with your framing of that, Adam. I don't think it's creepy. If someone has told you they're creepy, that you're being creepy, it's not because you're unattractive. Body language, how you approach someone, how you talk to them, what you say to them, those are all the things that, to me, can send off my red flags and say, oh no, this man might be a threat. He might not have boundaries. He might try to push boundaries. I have plenty of friends and have had partners that would not fall under the conventionally attractive banner. And them simply not fitting the conventional mold of hot did not creep me out. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to challenge you on that one. I'm going to challenge you to think about your framing of it, maybe. I could be wrong, but that's just me. Thank you so much, Files. Thank you so much for the tier 1 subscription for 3 months. 3-month team going strong over here. Thank you so much, guys. One good one of the surplus single men sent a message. Yeah, I mean, I feel you guys should watch the last video I did. I haven't checked the comments today yet, but I really think sometimes people weave internal narratives about what's going on, why people don't like them, why they're having a hard time, and it really can sabotage us. Really be sabotaging. Yeah, exactly. Kedril, that's how I feel about it. Someone being unattractive to me or being conventionally unattractive is not what makes someone creepy. It's their behavior. There is a way to not be creepy, even if you think you're unattractive. But if you think that's the reason, then you won't grow out of the creepiness because your head, well, I'm not doing anything wrong, it's just my looks. That's true, yeah, it sort of shuts down the conversation, the internal conversation about how to maybe have more success in our social and dating lives. Yeah, we have to be open to looking at ourselves honestly. I think that is hard. And also there are assholes out there, too. That makes it hard also. If people do treat you like shit, it sucks. Believe me, I know, I'm an internet person. The punching bag of all of the angry, sad people of the internet. It's like part of the YouTube job description. An article I read about how creepy was around too easily. I feel like popular YouTubers starting OnlyFans accounts exploit 16 to 20-year-old lonely guys, and it's likely not having a net positive effect on their conceptions of women and their mental health. Yeah, right. That's a really great point. You know, the parasocial relationship aspect of it, that's why those stories that my friends told me, my friends are in their 30s, but that's why the stories they told me about how they were gonna just go look at the OnlyFans of these women they were interested in really raised a red flag, because it's sort of, I don't know, it struck me as very transactional. This idea that, you know, I want a sexual relationship with this person and it's not gonna happen, so I guess I'll just pay for... He framed it like it was the less good option, right? Well, if I have to pay for it, I will, right? It's very transactional and disposable. There's a disposability there a little bit. This idea that, you know, we can just sort of, I don't know. It's like capitalism makes every relationship kind of exploitative. So OnlyFans kind of brings capitalism to sex and relationships, if you know the person. And there's always some transactional elements of relationships. Like, we get into them because we're getting something out of it. You know, we don't just give of ourselves endlessly, or shouldn't, without getting anything back, right? Relationships and sex should have positive returns. There is always some level of transaction, but to make it so monetary, it makes me uncomfortable. I don't know. Am I being unreasonable? Thank you for that comment. That is a really good point. Consistent with our acceptable use policy. I freeze it. Someone mentioned that they are, I thought someone was going to come in the garage for a second. Someone mentioned that they are allowing verified content creators to continue posting the same. Yeah, literally monetary, right, Mood? Literally about money. It makes me uncomfortable. I try to stay logical and be rational, but I do think there's something sort of, like, precious and human and important and, you know, special about sex and relationships. And we start introducing all of these transactional, parasocial layers of removal from each other, layers of removal from sex and pleasure and everything. You know, I'm worried. If you notice, there's been themes around all of this on my streams since I started streaming. It's because I'm very worried, you guys. I can argue for fun. Capitalism doesn't necessarily impact all sex, but has affected sex as a whole in modern history. Yes, that is true. And thank you for the super chat. James, thank you so much for the tier 1 subscription. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Those transactions have always been there, just usually under violence. Yeah, or even not violence, but yeah, often under violence. You as a person are beyond monetary value. The commodification of sex has harmed that all around. Yeah. Yeah. I just, you know, inject money into anything and it can sort of make everything kind of perverse and ugly. Jaded, I don't think OnlyFans and sex, so I don't use the term prostitution, I use the term sex work because it's more broad and it's more respectful of the profession. People who are sex workers prefer to be called sex workers. So that's part of why I use sex work. I would say that OnlyFans is a type of sex work, and there's lots of different types of sex work. But the thing that is different about OnlyFans, and the reason why I feel like it could be having some influence on how we see our relationships and how we see dating, is because it introduces this parasocial relationship dynamic, and it has a social media sort of function. It's a way to interact with people we do or don't know, maybe to some degree, different degrees of intimacy through a screen. And I just think about that. And it's different from sort of some of the oldest forms of sex work. It's much safer. You know, there's probably much more power in it, so that's good. And like I said, it could probably help destigmatize things like sexting or whatever. But maybe it's changing. Maybe it's making us see sex and relationships and bodies as, you know, more commodities, more commodified view of it. All I know is I'm not paying $50 for a topless photo. Oh, well, you know, we all do ourselves. You do you. Some people like it. Webcams and photo sharing apps came before OnlyFans. Yeah. It's just that OnlyFans is like the parasocial, right? People were having cam sex and sharing lewds, but now it's one person maybe with many people in an audience. And maybe in some ways it is more, yeah, it's a safer form of sex work, like stripping, but without any threat of
My two
real
sex
people.
friends got together and realized they're lesbian together. Might donate man juice.
Oh my
Anyway,
god.
Hope you're doing well.
Have fun with that, Flashaga. Thank you for the super chat. What's up, Littlehammer? What's up? Sure, Speculum. Thanks for joining the combo, guys. OnlyFans is better than the porn industry. Yes, that's the other thing. Thank you for bringing that up. That is another thing that I think is really a good thing about OnlyFans, is there is a level of exploitation in a lot of porn production, and it's sort of a power to the people. I think maybe this is what someone was getting at earlier when they said it gives power to the individual rather than the company. It just clicked for me. That initial comment, they were talking about porn companies, not social media companies. In which case, true. Yeah, it gives the individual the choice of what they want to post, when they want to post, how they want to post. They have total ownership of the content they're making. So there are a lot of really great things about OnlyFans, sex work wise. What I have more, you know, questions, things I'm thinking about are more about the social effect on, you know, the average college student, let's say. Fake news! Didn't they say it? I mean, I read it in Bloomberg. They said that they were not going to allow sexual acts. You can be naked, but there's no sexual acts. Correct me if I have that wrong, guys. That's just what I read in Bloomberg. I only read like 1 or 2 articles. I didn't dig super deep into it, because I was planning to talk about the sex and relationships part, and then the news hit. OnlyFans is less exploitative in general, but it's still very capitalistic in nature. Yeah. Less exploitative. Exactly. Those who program the robots will run things. That's true. We should all fear our engineer overlords. Seize the means of porn production. Hell yeah, Mercurius. That's exactly right. That's exactly what's going on. Dating culture is super weird right now. We meet new groups of people IRL so infrequently. That's a good point, Hans. And nice to see you, Hans. COVID has really, like, put everything, like, on crack. Now it's all so much more intense. And, you know, all the dynamics that were happening on the internet were really sped up. In some good ways, like, I'm really glad that the remote work revolution is happening. But I think it has been hard for relationships and sex. Chateau, yeah. In general, it's better to just go to the source, right? And if they're not posting anything... I did see quotes from OnlyFans, though, on the Bloomberg article, so... maybe they're just not... I don't know. What will it take to slow down? I don't know. I don't know. I think we're all fucked. The internet's just gonna keep on being horrible for the rest of our lives. Yeah, it's a brave new world. the way that we're relating and dating and having sex and all these things. It's interesting, though. It's interesting, right? I heard a talk yesterday about how porn and things like that end up being negative feedback loops because when young men are rejected, they turn to it and further end up in a space where they objectify women and don't know how to treat a lover in real life. I've heard that theory. Usually with big claims like that, I'm just like, let's see, we need some research, we need some data to know what's going on. But you could see how that might happen, right? For one, welcome our robot overlords. Well, that makes one. Thank you so much, Wendalis, for the super chat. Nice to see you thriving, Lacey. I remember you from Sex Plus, and I owe a lot of my sex ed to you. Oh, that's very sweet, Wendalis. Thank you so much. I've been getting back into sex videos. I'm gonna be having more, like, grown-up conversations about sex and culture. Not so much Sex Ed 101, but I'm planning a bunch of videos for you guys. Hopefully, you know, some interesting ideas. Things to think about. New perspectives. I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. OnlyFans makes it so you have to pay for it, for relationship. Yeah. You have to pay for everything. Welcome to capitalism. How do you feel about the parasocial friendship you have with us? That's a very meta question, Haley. I feel good about it. I don't feel like I've ever had... I personally, on YouTube, knock on wood, have not ever had major boundary issues with people online. I've made good friends. And, you know, people have mostly been chill. So for me, the internet is like a chill place. But I could see how if someone feels like they're getting romantically or sexually invested in you and then paying money down on it and interacting with you, that could create a very different dynamic than what we have right here.
You think furries works in terms of sex
We're not
capitalism
just having a drink and
without it
chatting.
being exploitative?
There's strong feelings happening. Accompanied by orgasm. Kajiri, thank you so much for the super chat. You think furries works in terms of sex capitalism without it being exploitative? I'm not sure how it would be exploitative. How would it be exploitative? Maybe I just don't understand the economics of the furry fandom well enough. Only furries. Oh, thank you so much, Philox. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. Aw. I was kind of having a shit day. You guys really brightened my mood. I had a really, really weird experience. I was walking my dog downtown, and literally in a half a second, all hell broke loose. All of a sudden, there's people running past us, fire engines, and ambulances. And my dog is very scared, so I pick her up, and I'm holding her and waiting for all the loud chaos to pass. And then a bird, a parrot, falls right in front of my face and on my feet. Dead. Not dead, actually. I just thought it was dead. It stood up and just stood there. It was just a very chaotic, weird vibe to start the day. I know it's a very strange story. Like, what? Where did that bird come from? What happened? There was guys in a building. There was like a big glass, window, and they came running out. They were like, what just happened? I know, it felt so ominous. It felt so ominous. Just a weird vibe. It's not dead, it's just resting. I think something was wrong with it. It was really sad. It was a beautiful parrot, beautiful green parrot. I don't know, man. It's like a metaphor for my life. I'm just standing there like, where do we go from here? Let's just pack it up and head home. David Lynchian day. Indeed, Shane, indeed. Oh, goodness. All right, guys, I wrote down a few things I wanted to make sure to bring up about OnlyFans. Let me make sure I got through them. Yeah, I think we covered it and much more. You guys really brought so many interesting points. Does anyone else have any burning thoughts on the OnlyFans issue that needs to be aired out? Because now is the time. Need to know. Has anyone said I resemble Oprah? Troll. It's a pretty good troll, though. Sex stuff will just move to other platforms. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if any of you decides to start your own OnlyFans spin-off. Just let us know first. Please grandfather us into the platform. Feel bad for sex workers. Still no protection for them. Yeah. I feel like it's going to take some real cultural shift. I don't know. People have very strong emotional attachments and strong beliefs about sex, and sex workers are in the middle of all of other people's feelings. It makes it very difficult to navigate as a political issue. How are they going to implement it? Go over content and judge it? I'm not sure, Plot. Usually these platforms will have human moderators for the content. Like Pornhub is screening all of the videos that get uploaded now. You have to be like a verified uploader and prove that the people in the video had consent and were of age. A lot of changes happening. What if sex workers go on strike? Aha! I love a good strike. Make your grievances known. I think sex work will be the next LGBT rights kind of issue. I don't know, David, because I feel like people will never really see them as quite the same. To the extent that people accept that maybe someone is born with the sexual orientation they have, I think there's much more acceptance now that, you know, people who are gay or bi or lesbian or whatever, they're born that way. Thanks, Lady Gaga, for teaching the whole country. Whereas with sex work, it's not quite the same, right? There's not this element of this is who I am and I cannot and will not change it. It's more about the labor. It's almost more of a labor question. It's like the intersection of bodily autonomy and labor rights, human rights. Thank you, Lady Gaga, for inventing the LGBTQ. We love to see it. Thank you. Yeah, I think so, David. I think accepting that this is not a lifestyle that they chose. Although, you know, I still have family members who refer to LGBT stuff as a lifestyle. It's like, okay, yes, it is like technically a lifestyle, but it's not like I just chose, oh, hey, I'm gonna like live this way, or I'm gonna choose to move to New York, or I'm gonna live out in the countryside. Like, it's not. It's just so weird to me when people refer to it as a lifestyle. Okay. I mean, technically correct, I guess. You need a guild or a union for a strike to be effective. A sex union would be a fun idea. It would be a fun union. Yeah, porn stars should unionize, man. Found my next political issue, guys. What's up, yikes? How's business? How's a daily struggle fest? It's fine, minus the parrot that almost killed me today. Everything else is good. Alright, guys, should we do some advice? I'm really sorry my stream dropped out last week. It's funny because I don't have the Ethernet now, and it's fine. But as soon as I, like, tried to make it better, it all went to hell. Let's read some confessions. Alright, I'm gonna close confessions off. Let's close it down. Let's see what sorts of secrets are bopping around in your guys' brain today. Let's turn this thing off. Boop. Alright. Confessions and advice are closed. All right, confession. I am into cuckolding, except being the other woman and having their partner watch. Being the other woman and... Oh, okay. My insecurities increase my attraction to infidelity. That's interesting. I think there's a name for that. Someone in the chat will know. What's the name of that specifically, you guys? Is there a name for that? It's like a type of cuckolding, but it's not... Yeah, it's not, is it like hot wifing? Not sure. The specific names of fetishes and kinks is not my strong suit. I'm 19 and I haven't graduated high school. I feel like a loser. Oh, honey. It's not too late. And you're not a loser. Everybody moves through life and accomplishments, paths in a different way. Doesn't make you a loser. But if you want to graduate, you can. Do it. Confession, I smoke weed every day and don't really feel like I can relax without it. I used to feel like that actually when I was in college. I smoked a lot of weed and it just sort of became a habit almost. And I think because it became a habit, I don't know, felt like there was something missing from my day. It wasn't really about relaxation for me though. It was maybe more about routine. High school isn't worth the pain. Relax. Yeah, high school just sucks, okay? High school is the worst. It's so funny, when you're in high school, everyone's like, high school's the best time of your life, man! Yeah, live it up! Like, it'll never be this good. Bitch, what the fuck kind of life are you living? High school was horrible. It was literally the worst period of my life. Ugh, so glad it's over. Things just keep getting better. 30s better than 20s. 20s better than teens. Although being a kid is the best of all. Even though you don't know it when you're a kid. You miss high school? Yeah, it depends on your experience in high school, right? But just every teen movie's like, yeah, high school. Yeah, oh my god. No. Get me out of that hellhole. Alright, confession. As a man, I find it attractive when a woman makes the first move. It might be submissiveness on my part, but I appreciate being wanted. Yeah. I don't think that's unusual at all. If you feel like it's unusual, I think everybody appreciates someone else initiating. And not even just romantically or sexually, right? I like it when my friends initiate to plan to get together, you know, initiate making dinner, I don't know, taking the garbage out, whatever it might be. Initiative. Initiative is nice. Quintus, Bets turned 30. Everyone keeps ragging up on me for it, but I've been 30 since I was 22. Oh, it's funny. I feel like I've been 40 since I was 22. Right, Scott, you've been watching me since you were in college. Oh, since I was in college. I have been on this here internet since I was in college. Luckily, you guys didn't know me in high school because I was a little shit. Even more than I was in college. That's why part of me is like, I cannot have kids. I was an absolute nightmare. Can you imagine my offspring? Terror. Confession. Being approached means you hold more power, and most women seem to relish that power. That seems like a part 2 to the last confession. Confession. I think men's issues aren't taken seriously or get downplayed. Men get called misogynist and mentally ill for talking about suicide, unfair laws, and homelessness. Fathers aren't taken seriously. Yeah, I'm uncomfortable with the way men's issues are discussed sometimes too. The thing is, like, especially in the feminist sphere, there's a lot of women who have had bad experiences with men, and so they speak about men and think about men in a way that when they talk about it, they're speaking from their own experience and they're speaking from their own pain. But I don't know. I just feel like talking about any group as a whole as being some kind of way, it's difficult because not all men or whatever. But actually, it can be alienating, you know? That makes sense. thoughts. I'm editing a podcast right now that will hopefully be up tomorrow that, you know, I think it could hurt some men's feelings. But I don't want it to. Like, I gotta maybe preempt it with some thoughts about the discussion. All right. What is all this stuff about approaching women? Confession, I'm a guy and I have a strong body swap fetish. I don't know what that means. Have you guys heard of this? It's hard to have feelings. Oh. Where I live, I wish that some women would stick up for me a bit sometimes. Oh, beef pants. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't know how to escape it because, you know, men want to talk about their problems with women and women want to talk about their problems with men. And everyone's just, you know, being mad at each other. Thank you for the super chat. You need to breed a whore to take over. No! Literal nightmare. I did a lot of bad things in high school and never got caught. Harley! Then one day the police thought I put a bomb in my locker, but instead it was a cassette player just running at the end of the tape making a clicking noise. I told the cop if I put a bomb in the school, why would I put it in my locker? And why would I still be in the building? Shit, that sounds scary. Big brain cops right there. It's been likened sometimes to a sign of nascent transgender identity, not true for everyone, but some have stated this. So is it like a gender swapping thing? Because when I think of body swapping, that could be anything, right? Not necessarily just along gender lines. Where's my tunes? Here we go. Thank you for the super chat, Flashaga.
Men's feelings, perhaps this is you have this crowd.
Perhaps
Keep
this
going.
is you have this crowd. Keep going. What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean, Flashaga, but thank you for the super chat. Lindsay Lohan, Freaky Friday. Yeah, that's what it makes me think of, like switching place with your mom or something. Oh, it's in reference to gender. Okay. There's a name for that. Maybe it's slightly different, but related. Autogynephilia. Fantasizing about being a woman. And there's the opposite, too. Fantasizing about being the man in a sexual exchange. What's up, Predator? I am a streamer. I am Twitch's #1 streamer. How did you miss this? I think specifically for pretending you're the body of the opposite sex, but body swapping may have different subtypes beyond that. Oh yeah, I'm sure any sort of sexy things, there's just an endless string of variations. Thank you so much for the Prime subscription, Sig Nasty. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Autoandrophilia. You need to commit to YouTube Live or Twitch? Both. That one voice. I think I'm going to continue doing both because when I stream on YouTube, people who don't like Twitch can still get the stream. I also think YouTube bumps me up a little bit so that my sex ed videos can be seen because I'm already feel like I'm swimming upstream in the sex ed content on the algorithm. So I think streams help maybe more people see the videos I'm making. I have no idea. Oh, Kobalan, yes, I'm still here. I haven't died yet. Since you were 14, that was a long time ago. Yeah, I'm trying to move into grown-up sex ed. I've talked about a lot of different topics over the year, but in the next year, my plan is to sort of move into a little bit more grown-up sex ed. Not necessarily like how to give a pan job or something, but more, thinking about sex in a bigger, more multidimensional way. Yeah, dating over 30, sex in your 30s, and you don't even necessarily have to be in your 30s, but just stuff that feels a little bit more amorphous and I don't see as many people talking about. There's like a million sex blogs, want to talk about the stuff that is not being covered. Let's do a couple more confessions here. Confession. Oh my god. Okay. Troll. Confession. I'm afraid to go after what I want in life. Over the years, I went down the practical route instead of living my dreams. I want to be happy. However, I don't want to go for broke. Ooh. That's some realness right there. There's always like... That's capitalism too, right? There's always this straight off of trying to balance the things we really want to put our time and energy into and the things that are going to pay the bills. I know it very well as a YouTuber. I would just, you know, stream all the time, make videos all the time if I felt like I could make a living doing it, but it would also probably burn me out. Alright, confession. I've more or less given up on dating. COVID-19 in my country means going to meet people IRL is off limits, and related to today's topic, almost everyone I match with is trying to push me to their OnlyFans while I'm trying to make a human connection. That just made me have to burp. That was so upsetting. I'm so sorry. Confession, I'm in a poly relationship and I love happiness but have no idea how to tell others, and it's apparently hard to understand. Find a few resources you like that explain it. Pop it their way. Saves a little bit of the brain energy, right? Men and penis havers can and do fake orgasms. Not sure if it's as common as women. And vagina havers. I didn't even realize this happens until a partner admitted that they pretended to do it a few times to me. Yes, indeed. It does happen. It does happen. So much pressure to perform. So much pressure to do sex a particular way. I'm convinced that no one would really fake it if we all just accepted that sometimes sex happens and you don't come. And it doesn't mean it wasn't fun. It doesn't mean you're not enjoying yourself. Confession, I'm going to the doctor for a physical for the first time in 6 years. I'm terrified they're going to dismiss my health issues because of my weight. I struggled with ED in college and really don't need the lecture. I worked hard to find a sustainable lifestyle. You know what? You should tell them that. If they try to blame everything on your weight, just be like, listen. And also find another doctor. If you can. Because that's a telltale sign that they're not going to take your health issues seriously. They're lazy. They don't want to figure out what's going on. They don't want to figure out how to treat you. They just want to be like, yeah, get on the treadmill. Maybe your chronic pain will go away. And look, being in good shape can help with a lot of health issues, but it's not always like... You can't fix every health problem with losing weight. Confession, I chucked a parrot at you the other day. Glad to hear it's okay. Sorry about that. Wow, I can't believe this. I'm feeling so attacked right now by this parrot. How we doing, chat? What's up, Sama? It's Vlog TV all over again. It's 2008, everyone. Let's just wind back the clock. I don't understand the connection thing. If it isn't the case that I feel connection with anyone. Rather, as a male, it's more a matter of being interested in a woman and having her feel the same way. But the two things don't happen at the same time. I'm kind of an independent person. I don't really see other people sharing my life with me. Oh, yeah. I think that happens sometimes. Plenty of people just like, man, I'm doing my own thing, man. I'm happy with my life as it is. That's the thing, like when you're vetting a partner, when you're dating, which is really just vetting, they should be bringing more to your life, more fun, more joy, more warmth, more pleasure than you'd be having otherwise, right? If it's bringing agony and heartache and stress, it's not a good situation. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wow. Danny, doing the research. Just looked up the vocabulary. Body swap fetish is part of a greater category known as transformation fetishes, sometimes loosely linked with hypnotism role-playing. Every day I learn something new. Every stream I learn something new. My brain is very small. I need to make it bigger. 2008, that means the baby of the family is 9 years old. Oh. Good old days. You never know you're in the good old days until they're gone. Isn't that a tragedy? Why don't we just date our friends? I actually usually do. Most of my relationships were friends. My current partner, friend for several years, we were both in relationships. And then we were both not in relationships. So, yeah, I think friends can make excellent partners because you're already connecting on something. You know, you have shared interests, same shared personalities. You're friends for a reason. The problem is that it can ruin the friendship if both people aren't, you know, in the same place emotionally. If they are not able to deal with the new challenges that can come from exploring sexy things, romantic things. We're not subscribers, we're a research team. Can you guys come write my videos for me? I'll take 3 writers and 4 fact checkers. I love it. I've really been enjoying writing videos again. Something bad lifted out of me this spring. It's probably all the therapy, honestly. Some part of me just was like, for a long time, I just felt like I didn't want to talk about sex ed. I didn't want to talk about any of this stuff. I was just so burnt out and just annoyed with how polarized and gross all the conversations are. And then, you know, I was trying to make other videos for a while. And then this spring, I just like, something changed. Something just felt different. Suddenly I was just in a different place emotionally. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, guys. Not to get all spiritual on you, but I feel like I had an emotional breakthrough or something. Came back to it. Is COVID coming in States? Do we have it here in the States? Yes, it's a nightmare. It is a nightmare. Aw, that's really sweet of you. Thanks, Landar. Pee-pee nice! Indeed. That's what I realized. I was like, you know what? Pee-pee really is nice after all. Alright, let's do some advice. Alright, I need your help on this one, chat. Advice, how do I become more secure in myself? Being insecure has really brought down my life choices. You guys think about a time in your life when you were more insecure than you are now. What changed? How'd you become more secure? For me, I think part of how I became more secure is like accepting who I am and being more okay with, you know, who I am, what I think, my personality type, my quirks. Just kind of being like, I'm okay, it's fine. Accepting my personality, realizing that I'm not hurting anyone, I'm not, you know, a bad person. The internet tells you you're a bad person a lot, so I had a complex. Abiba, thank you so much for the Prime subscription! Appreciate it very much. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to sort of put it into words, but that's really what happened. I just realized, like, oh, all these idiot people or toxic people in my life, toxic friends, they don't define me, I define me. And that just made it easier. Good support system. Yes, Ingrid, that's a huge one. People that you can count on. Homies who can gas you up, you know, make you feel good inside. Whoa, what, Habiba? We have a few people who are like reconvening from Vlog TV. That's awesome. I feel like we need to have an explicit Vlog TV reunion night. And I'll stream from my bedroom at my parents' house. Oh, I'm actually going to my parents' house next week. All right, next Thursday's stream is gonna be Vlog TV reunion stream from my old bedroom. Gotta tuck the homies in, it's true. Someone to tuck you in at night, that really builds the confidence. Realize that you're a monkey like everyone else and you have intrinsic value. Aw. Wholesome. Wholesome Hans. Support system isn't something everyone has access to. That's true, but it is something that everyone can build. It takes time. Takes time, but we are all capable of slowly building a support system for ourselves, and we have to. It's survival. We need people. Beers and SLC? Hell yeah, that sounds so fun, janitor. I need to come back to SLC. Maybe when all of this COVID craziness is over, I'll come back to SLC. Realize your time on this planet is limited, and wasting it feeling bad about yourself doesn't help. Also true, David. Also true. I think about that a lot, and I think if you've had a real health scare in your life or you've lost someone in your life, it really does put that into perspective. Not that I'd ever wish those experiences on anyone, but it really does hit home just how precious our tiny blip on Earth is, you know? Just don't be sad. Great advice, Nita. Aw. I don't know if you're being sarcastic, King Kingsley, in which case, I'm always here to make you feel horrible. Tragedy is the ultimate growing experience. That's so true, Katola. I hate that that's true, but it does. It does push us. Couchman, thank you so much for the tier 1 subscription. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. What's up? Carboni, how we doing? There's some positivity in here. Outside of the seething self-hatred lurking under the surface. Okay, this is a similar question, chat. I need your help. Hey, Lacey, I'm struggling in relationships with women. I don't know how to show my interest without feeling like I'm a vector of masculine domination. I'm lost, lol. Thanks from France. A vector of masculine domination. How can we help this vector, you guys? I need to make a video about this. It comes up literally every chat. I need to make a video about it. Vector. I love the term vector. Yeah, I would say the most important thing is just be self-aware. Try to read someone's body language. If they look uncomfortable, just, you know, close up the conversation. In general, people are going to be open, except that sometimes they won't be. And be willing to read what they're giving you, right? If they seem uncomfortable, uninterested, nah, what are you doing? Leave me alone. Be like, it's nice to meet you. And leave them be. It's all about reading that body language, but you know, how do you teach someone to read body language if they're not very good at it? I feel like you have to be very specific. Like, if someone's doing this, they're not comfortable. If someone's doing this, they're not comfortable. It's a starting point, you guys. I'm still working on this one. Communication, yes. Communication's important too. What they're literally saying. What they're literally saying is important. But so much of dating and so much of flirting and so much of just social life in general, even friendships, everything, is about subtle cues. It's about subtle social cues. And sometimes I wonder if people who are really struggling with this are not really great at picking up those cues, and they just need a little bit more, a different type of guidance than we are offering to people. You know, giving them some lines to start a conversation isn't going to be helpful if they can't really read the room, read the person. Do you know what I'm saying? What are we on about, chat? Y'all got any flowcharts? Oh, I got flowcharts. I love flowcharts, you guys. Do not even get me started. A Frenchman who's bad with the ladies. Oh, my chat got stuck. Here we go. If you have a trusted friend, you can literally practice with them. Ooh, yeah, we get told all the time to just be yourself, but rarely get told how to be the best version of that. Danny, amazing advice. Get your wingman involved. Or your wingwoman. Or your wing NB. Wing NB. It's a mouthful. Get him on your team and practice. Curse Pony! I haven't seen that name in a long time. Good to see you, my dear. Make a flowchart about if the flowchart is a flowchart. This memery coming to a Reddit near you. As someone with that issue, I lack empathy, so I have to focus on being sympathetic. The main issue is when I forget to scan for social cues. Huh. If you can focus on being, I mean, it's hard to have empathy if you really can't relate to how someone feels. So I guess that makes sense. Bold Slithers, thank you so much for the tier 1 subscription. Thank you, thank you. So sweet. Flow like Pope. Do you hear the OnlyFans is banning sexual content? Gentleman Gamer, you're a little late to the chat. Gentleman Gamer has logged in 2 hours after the chat. I do feel bad when people come in later in the chat and we've already had the discussion, but the VOD will be up here on Twitch and on my channel if you want to watch the discussion. Woo a woman through her girlfriends. You need them on as your cheerleaders. You do want to make a good impression on friends. I don't give my girlfriends like 100%, you know, of input, but I do take it into mind if they have a vibe on someone. Like, they're just looking out for you. Thank you so much, Luminer! Thank you for the Prime subscription. Welcome to the fam. There's like a colossal amount of opposite sex people. Just do you. If it ain't obvious pretty quickly that they're interested, just move on. Odds are it's going to get awkward for you otherwise. Exactly. There's so many people out there. I think part of it is just getting over the fear of awkwardness and rejection, accepting that you might have some awkward moments, someone might not be interested. You know, that's part of it. Don't take it personally. Move on. It's actually coincidental voice, but we now consider this chat sax positive. This is a sax positive chat room. Practice flirting with your friend. Accidentally realize you two should be dating. Emery's in here with the 4D chess. All right. How do I stop procrastinating? Another advice request. For me, it helps to break a big task into small tasks. Break it down and makes it just much more easier to be like, I'm just gonna do this one thing. And it helps you get into that flow. If you just set a goal to do one little part of the task, you get into the flow. You're like, well, I'm here. I might as well XYZ. That's what works for me. All right, advice. My friend is going through a bit of a crisis. She recently stopped letting people walk all over her. And now everyone she thought was a good friend is losing her shit on her because she won't hang out with her abuser. Should I confront these people on behalf of my friend or just cut my losses with them? You should talk to your friend first. You should talk to your friend about how to approach these people. If they're toxic, and it sounds like they could be, if they want someone to hang out with their abuser and giving them shit, you know, if they're toxic, it might be time to cut it out. Really? Thiru Moran. Freaky coincidence. Yeah. That's why we have to talk about shit going on, because a lot of the time people are experiencing similar things more than we realize. All right. What do you do if you're not big enough, in quotation marks, for her? is your partner saying this to you? Or are you assuming you're not big enough? Because if you're assuming, well, don't. But if your partner has mentioned this to you, there's only so much we can do about our literal anatomy. And that could be a red flag depending on how this person is bringing it up, how your partner's bringing it up. There are some types of positions if your partner, enjoys more fullness than maybe you're able to offer. There are some positions that can be helpful. I know that, I think doggy style tends to be one that can feel more full, but do some Googling. I think I even have a chapter on it in my book. Check out the chapter. Oh, maybe actually, no. They cut that part. I always forget what made it into the book and what didn't. Vagina is only 6 inches deep, which is also deep enough to lose your house, car, savings, and dignity. Janitor! First off, every vagina has a different depth. Second off, it's only deep enough to lose an apartment. A full-blown house, definitely not going to fit in there. Oh yeah, the book has an index, that's true. Yes, I have a book. It's called Sex Plus. It's about sex. I feel like the book was written to be a, here's what you need to learn in sex ed. With a little bit of Lacey infused in there. Yeah, pleasurable, there's many ways to have pleasurable sex, but, the context of that conversation, why, if your partner's, making fun of your penis size or something, that would be worrying. That would suggest another issue altogether than the position that you're having sex in. Great stream, bro. Thanks, bro. Do you ever deal with imposter syndrome? How do you manage it if you have it sometimes? I honestly think most people deal with imposter syndrome. Most people that I get really close to, people that would actually confide that they're dealing with this to me, it comes up at some point or another. Management, though, it just depends on how severe. I have a friend who's seeing a therapist to work through the imposter syndrome. But with most things that are internal emotional struggles, start by asking yourself where the feeling is coming from, what is the root of it, and work your way up from there. And of course, that's why a counselor's helpful, because they're gonna help you and guide you through unpacking all those feelings of inadequacy, those anxieties about not doing well enough, not belonging, all that kind of stuff. What do you guys think, chat? Do you think sex ed in school works? I remembered in middle school, but it seemed like nobody even paid attention. Yeah, Pedro. I don't know. I think sex ed in school should cover the basics. STI and pregnancy prevention, the basics of pleasure, the basics of anatomy. But there's so much to learn about sex. I really, I've been teaching sex ed and thinking about sexuality issues for most of my sentient life, and I still feel like I know so little. There's so much to learn. So in that sense, sex ed is a lifelong thing. And consent, thank you, humanists, of course. Consent, all of the safety stuff. But also pleasure. I do think that pleasure should be covered, or at least acknowledge that the clitoris exists. At least acknowledge it is there. A lot of medical schools don't even teach about the clitoris. Can you believe that? Medical school! One of my friends went to med school. She said we literally talked about the clitoral anatomy for 2 seconds in one class. Okay, well, that's really great to know. I haven't actually watched Sex Education on Netflix. Nocturnal. My friends keep telling me to do it. But it's almost like the more people tell me I need to watch it, the more I'm like, I'm never gonna watch this. I am my own person. Oh god, Cold Slither, that's the worst. I definitely saw the really graphic birth video too. In high school, it was a video of a woman that was on a river who was about to give birth. She like literally gave birth like on a river or something. It was very strange. 10th grade. Why are we watching this? She's just screaming for like 20 minutes. God. The clitoris exists. The clitoris has logged into the chat. Sex ed is okay. It's not that great. Little to do with sex ed. Oh, okay. Good. Tell me I won't like it and then I'll watch it. Earth Mothers. Yeah, it really did have that vibe, Keji. It was like, women have a sacred duty, a sacred role. And then just screaming. Like meditation music. Birth videos are horrifying. Watching birth videos is like 90% of why I never want to have kids. Like, I am not going through that. No thanks. Next, please. Next. I'll just be the cool aunt. Because my sister's for sure gonna have kids. She's been talking about it for like 10 years. This is more an opinion request, but recently certain people have been pushing huge lists of power differential considerations to prevent a more powerful person from romantically or sexually abusing a less powerful person. Do you think that this is devolving into consent and morality policing? Excuse me. Sorry, God bless. Or is there definite use to taking such lists seriously? I haven't seen the lists, so I'm not really sure. Here's the thing. Every relationship is going to have some kind of power dynamic. Every relationship. One person, you know, might have more money than the other person or a better job or more stability. You know, there's gender dynamics. There's sexual orientation and identity dynamics. There's racial dynamics. There's all kinds of dynamics that are present in relationships. So the belief or goal to eliminate all power from relationships is not possible, right?
Your view of Chris Chan's latest achievement?
What we have to do instead is to think critically about power and how, you know, exploitation, how to prevent exploitation. So particularly when it comes to things like boss-employee relationships, age differentials. You know, every situation is different. Every situation is different. So I could see how a list of like, this type of relationship is not allowed, and this type of relationship is not allowed, and this type of relationship is not allowed. You know, I would agree that sort of thing is sort of sex policing. There's a balance. There's a balance in there. There's a nuance. Do you guys know what I'm saying? Someone in the chat say it smarter than me. Power will always be a seesaw. Thank you for the super chat, Fleshaga. Your view of Chris Chan's latest achievement? Oh god, I don't even want to know what that is. I saw the news. The sexual assault stuff. I don't need any more. Some people's stories, some shit that you hear about on the internet, I just want to erase it from my brain. I feel like the internet should just come with a brain eraser. Let's just forget I ever thought about this, ever saw this. Oh, thanks, Dean. Yeah, I've been streaming for a couple months. 3 months, I guess, now. I'm new to it. I'm a noob. Except for when I used to do it a very long time ago. I'm new to Twitch, I should say. Nachos, thanks so much for the super chat. In Missouri high school health class, we talked about sex and drugs by showing us the Manson family. Are you fucking kidding me? That just shook me. I don't even know what to say. Gotta love it. I love America. Love America. All right. Okay, Lacey, can you help me? I'm 23 years old. I live in Brazil. I'm straight, and I had sex many times, but I've never felt anything. I don't know what is pleasure in sex. Huh. Okay, I'd be curious if you feel anything when you masturbate. I'd be curious about how you're having sex. I'd be curious about how you feel when you have sex emotionally. Depending on what's going on there, it could be a physical problem. If you are feeling other types of pleasure in different scenarios, this is probably a physical or emotional issue. Or it's probably an emotional issue, sorry. If you're not feeling anything, I'm sorry, I'm just totally jumbled that. If you are able to experience pleasure when you're masturbating, it is probably an emotional thing. And if you are not able to experience pleasure ever, then it is probably a physical thing. For an emotional thing, you're going to want to consult a therapist. And for a physical thing, you're going to want to consult a doctor. Sorry, I can't be more helpful. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it could be medication. Either way, that's a doctor question. Don't just take yourself off any medications you're on. Someone dies thanks to my stream. Love it. I am not. That was real. I believe you. It's more than just that I can't believe America. The dumb shit in this country. And thank you for the super chat, Nachos. Because there's just the purely physical aspects of pleasure too, just the nerve endings, right? Yeah, and different kinds of stimulation too, Cold Slither, exactly. Like some people, oral sex, or even, you know, different types of penetrative sex. Occasionally I have heard from people that it just doesn't do anything for them. So, yeah, that's a little bit beyond the scope of a live stream advice column, however. But do ask someone who will know, because this is probably a solvable problem. All right, I'm having difficulty separating my ex and sexual experiences. It seems like I can't finish unless I think about them, and I would like to stop this habit. Huh. Sounds like you're still emotionally attached to your ex, and that's normal. I would maybe start to try to incorporate other fantasies, and you're possibly reinforcing it if you finish. So maybe take a step back, take a little more time. It might take you longer to finish, but find some other fantasies that do it for you, so that you're not continuing to reinforce that cycle if you really just don't want to, you know, be constantly thinking about your ex because that's emotionally difficult for you or whatever. We can condition ourselves sexually. I used to think it was much harder than it seems to be. We can condition ourselves in a lot of ways, in positive ways and negative ways. Yeah. I gotta think about that one. If you can't enjoy sex, you should ask your scale. Oh no, janitor. Oh no. Do something unique and sexual with your partner, or just fantasize about something unique. Explore this. Explore those fantasies more. There's probably something in there. But, you know, it might take a little more work. Oh, good idea, Kablazin. All right. This last advice request. Oh wait, there's a couple more here. Second to last. How do I communicate with my partner when I'm feeling so down that I feel like I can't even talk? I feel bad that they're left clueless, but it feels too difficult to communicate in those moments. Oh, so this is not uncommon for people to kind of shut down when they're really upset, to freeze up. I wouldn't pressure yourself to feel like you have to talk about it. What I would do is discuss that emotional reaction that you're happening when you're not upset. And let your partner know when you're upset what you want. Do you want to be left alone for a couple of hours? Do you want to, have space to go for a walk? Clear your head, clear your mind until you feel ready to talk. I think just sort of setting the expectations and letting your partner know ahead of time can take some of the pressure off to be like, I need to articulate my feelings to you right now when you're upset. Think about what you want in those moments, and then talk to them about it in a time that is not those moments. best of luck. I hope that you can figure that out. It's a really important part, I think, of negotiating our own feelings and how we deal with our feelings with a partner. Oh, okay. I'm so shy that when I thought someone I'm attracted to was going to make a move, I genuinely considered lying and saying I'm gay. They didn't, but that thought was a bit of a wake-up call. How can I work on this? Aww. You're having some kind of an aversive reaction. Maybe it's sort of a fear reaction. Social anxiety. I would say that those are probably things to... I mean, you could try to get to the root of it internally, to think about why you're jumping to that conclusion, and if you can unpack that on your own, then that's great. But if you're having some pretty serious social anxiety, which it seems possible from what you're saying here, that might be something to consult with a counselor about. Unfortunately, I don't feel comfortable right now telling you exactly how to work on it, beside just having that internal narrative, examining your internal narrative. Why did I have that reaction? Where did it come from? What am I afraid of? How would I like to react in that situation? Is there a physiological response, like racing heart and all those things, that's preventing it? Because that might need a little bit more outside guidance. All right, I'm back in the chat. Pretending to be gay to push women away. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been in situations, not necessarily pretending to be gay, but pretending something else, lying, right, to get out of a social situation. And sometimes it was a feeling of threat, but that's not what it sounds like was going on there. Sometimes it's just really high anxiety. I don't want to make a fool of myself. I just feel like this situation is more than I can handle. Doesn't pretending to be gay make them more attracted to you? What planet are you living on, Kablazin? Alright. That's a wrap on the advice for tonight. Thor! Thank you so much, Thor, for the Prime subscription. Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate all the support tonight. You guys are awesome. I never had to act gay to push women away. It's some sort of natural repellent, and they just, oh, come on, Harley. You got married, so obviously it wasn't that bad. Oh, good idea, Sky High. Dressing like a metrosexual worked wonders in college. I think that people like it when men put some effort into their appearance. Especially if we're talking about straight relationships, right? Inbred albatross. What is that screen name? Thank you so much, Inbred, for the Prime subscription. Malku, thank you so much. Oh my god, you guys, you're so sweet. Stop. So sweet. Thank you, Malku. Yeah, making a little bit of effort, not necessarily like to the metrosexual extent, unless you want to, but just a little effort, you know, to smell nice, look nice. Don't overdo it on the cologne. That is something that I feel like I see a lot, is overdoing it on the cologne. But yeah, it shows that you take pride in yourself a little bit, you know. So I think it can help, and you'll probably feel more confident if you're wearing clean clothes and, you know, you washed your hair. Shit like that. 99% of the people on Twitch know nothing about dating. I like how you put people in quotations, Markley. They're all just robots. And I'm sure there's plenty of people on Twitch who are in relationships and do know stuff about dating. Maybe not, though. I don't know. Gamer culture, which dominates Twitch, is a little bit mysterious to me. Like, every man that I know is involved in it, but I don't know what happens there. What are all these men doing for 12 hours a day? Boom, we'll judge you by your shoes, fellas. You know, that's kind of true, actually. Not necessarily judging by shoes, but, you know, a nice pair of shoes, a classy pair of shoes, not over the top, but just a nice pair of shoes, it goes a long way. You can kind of get away with, like, grungier t-shirts and stuff, I feel like, if you have a decent pair of shoes. Alright, guys, I'm gonna start a makeover show for straight men. I'll be the new lacy eye for the straight guy. Coming to a Twitch near you. Too cerebral. I think part of being a good partner and being good at dating requires a little bit of cerebral activity. Although you see some of the guys out there, you see what passes for lady killers this day, and really wonder about all that cerebral activity. What are wingtips, Kablazin? Why do I have a feeling you're trolling me? Why should I do anything to oppress women? Well, you shouldn't, unless you're trying to get dates and, you know, have a relationship with women. I'm strictly referring to straight guys who are dating and want to make a good impression. I don't think people need to, like, go crazy, okay? You don't need to get too overwhelmed with all that, but just, you know, put in a little time. Makes a little difference. Wingtips are a thing? Okay, I'm gonna look it up. I need to know. Wingtips. Okay, it's literally just showing me the wing of an airplane. Y'all wearing airplanes on your shoes or what? Airplanes for shoes? Oh, wait. Oh, wait, these are actually really nice. Okay, y'all are wearing these? Y'all are classy. Okay. Okay. Why should I do anything to oppress women? Oh yeah, you know me. I'm here for the female oppression. Yeah, they're just dress shoes, high def. Y'all could have just said dress shoes. Here I am thinking they've got like wings and shit. I am kind of sheltered, like, not to out myself as a gigantic nerd, but I am a gigantic nerd. Most of my days I just spend at home reading and writing. Literally most of my life is just reading and writing. So I do go out and see people. I do see humans. In fact, a couple of my girlfriends are on their way over. One of them's having a relationship crisis right now, so she needs some girl time. But I'm probably not very exposed to pop culture stuff as much as other people. I do know internet stuff, though. Okay, I take pride in my very onlineness. I know what's happening on the internet. So no one's gonna come for me on that. On the internet, I don't see what shoes they're wearing, so. Wearing wingtips and suit to dancers. Aw, cute. Very cute. What have I been reading lately? Oh, all kinds of stuff. I finished this book for a book club that I'm in called Post So Wells. That was interesting. I'm also reading a book called Betraying Big Brother. It's about the feminist revolution in China. I read a book called Cynical Theories. You guys may have heard of that one because the authors Helen Pluckrose and James Lindsay are pretty popular online. Why Men Behave Badly. Passionate Marriage. I have a lot of books that are open right now. I read a lot of relationship and sex books. They give me ideas for videos and stuff. And I do it all while wearing dress shoes. So. I have been reading How to Make the Internet Work, How to Do a Twitch. I haven't finished How to Do a Twitch yet, but I'm working on it. All right, my dears. I have to go tend to my girlfriends and do those girlfriendy things. But this was super fun. Thank you so much for all your wonderful thoughts. Next week, next Thursday, 4 p.m., 7 Eastern, I will be at my parents' house. And we'll just embrace the chaos. Don't know what's gonna happen. Okay? If they embarrass me, I will never show my face again. All right. Night-night, guys. Lots of love. See you next time.